the 8th Virtual Fighter Wing reached out to me to ask if I would take a look at one of their DCS sorties. So here are my thoughts on it. The first thing, they spent a lot of time on what we would consider TAC admin, tactical admin, and that is things like keeping your formation together, making sure everybody's going to the right place at the right time. Now, if you do that while flying, it's okay and you can do it, but you only have so much of your conscious mind, and we call it your brain bytes. You only have so many bytes to go around. Now, if most of what you're doing, you fall back on standard procedures, it allows you to use your conscious thinking for the really difficult stuff, for doing tactics, for decision making. And everything else you fall back on basically your subconscious mind because you've practiced this so many times. This is why we trained thousands of times to do one single maneuver. So what I'd recommend for the DCS pilots out there, the next time you're doing a sortie like this, brief the details, spend a few extra minutes doing a briefing, and we call it briefing the motherhood. And in briefing the motherhood, it is stuff like, where are you supposed to be in formation when? After takeoff, which way are we going to turn? Which steer point are we going to fly to? What formation do I expect you to be in? Then we don't need to spend time on the radio talking to each other saying, hey, do you want us to rejoin the trail? Where did you want us to go on this? If everyone knows you're going to the tanker, you can say, I'm blind. You don't have to spend a lot of radio time getting back together because number 2 knows that number 1 is going from the runway to the tanker. So you can find your flight lead somewhere along that line. Obviously, you need deconfliction so you don't run aircraft together. If you're going back to do this again, spend a little extra time briefing the motherhood so that you don't have to spend time during the sortie. We mission plan from the target backwards. And what we mean by that is we start with what we're trying to achieve that day, and we work all the way back to takeoff, to ground ops, to the briefing. We plan every minute detail down to what minute do I need to start engines and what minute do I need to take off in order to reach the tanker. Then we spend a whole lot of time on contingencies, what ifs, right? What if I'm running late? What if number 4 is running late and he was the only one with a harm in this sortie? For every hour of flying in the F-16, we probably spent close to 10 hours of mission planning. That's the behind the scenes kind of boring stuff that you don't get to see, that we spend so much time going over in meticulous detail exactly what we're gonna do on every single sortie. Much of that we'll never even use because it's contingencies that don't happen. Thanks for sending that to me. It was really cool. DCS was my first experience seeing DCS, and I was amazed at the realism, and they've really thought about every detail now. I have not played it yet. I still intend to do that. And if you have more questions or things you want me to comment on, send them to me in a DM, drop it in the comments, and follow me for more of this content.